how's everything? How's your new work treating you?
It's interesting. For sure, it's interesting. 5 months of brutalness, and I'm back. And a part of me is enjoying what I'm doing. Because all I've been doing is inspecting cargo. So that's it. So I don't have to be mean.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Literally, all for 2 weeks, all I did was get on top of trucks. And you know how there's cargo containers that are refrigerated ones? I would unscrew 2 panels on the in the front of it, and just look inside and inspect it. And I'm like, all right, it's cool. It's cold as shit. And right now, there's a lot of produce coming in, and I've opened up 10 containers that are garlic. So it just smells.
But it smells.
Oh my god, it smells so bad.
Damn.
And right now I'm just doing the office stuff right now. So I get moved to another department.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
How about you? What you been up to for 5 months? Oh, 6 months now.
Nothing really. I discovered Fortnite.
Oh my fucking god.
I broke up with my ex. And that's it.
Wild ass 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, I've done a little bit of activism work, which is cool.
That's great.
I don't post much about it and everything, just for safety and stuff, but sometimes I can't go to marches all the time. But
Spreading the word helps out.
Shit, I'm sorry. Sometimes I donate money, or when they were having the protests in the university nearby for Palestine. I'm not gonna say which one, but I would donate. I donated 3-4 packs of waters and stuff, just trying to keep informed, like you said, spreading the word and everything. And that's it, and it's made me happy. Damn, I'm so lame compared to you. You're right here, brand new job, doing good things, and I'm just Fortnite.
Hey, look. Even though I have this new job, I still want to do this thing. Because, I like doing this shit.
Yeah.
It's fun. Gives me an excuse to eat out.
Real. Oh my god. I'm so excited to eat.
And then, I don't know, it's just nice. I got back into that groove of researching shit. The only thing that stumped me a bit was that to get to more paranormal activity from my end,
You have to pay.
I would have to buy a book.
Paywall, yeah. Oh, that's what's so annoying.
And I was like, I'm not. Maybe eventually I'll buy it just so I can read it, because it's interesting. Because I mean, it's not just the paranormal side of things, but it's also the cultural side of things and how trauma affects the people that cause. But
interesting.
yeah, so I don't want to jump ahead and spoil it.
You're going really deep into that.
Yeah, it was a whole rabbit hole. It even spawned. No, I don't want to say that towards the end. I don't want to spoil it.
Is that what you're gonna cover today? Does it involve psychosis?
No.
No. Interesting.
No. It's more like a form of coping, in a way.
Seeing things?
Yeah. So
that.
So there are well over hundreds of encounters, right? People seeing things, physically interacting with them, and even leaving spots of where they were, these spirits leaving spots of where they were. But it's also because of what happened. People are saying that it's normal, or it's not uncommon for the people in this community to just find an outlet to find reasons to cope with it.
I feel like it kind of goes, well, like what I've covered before with the Shadow Man, and how people also view them as like guardian angels and everything because they see them so commonly.
I wouldn't say it's like, it's not really like guardian angels, but it's just like it's just really sad how something tragic leading to multiple events and then just people trying their best to continue on. Like it's really sad. Man, it's like traditions are traditions. We never do an intro. So welcome back, everybody.
That is so true. Oh my goodness.
Welcome back, everybody. After a 6-month long hiatus.
Woo.
Now we have a new plushie added to the couch here. We got Knuckles.
They were doing some stuff right now, dude.
Oh my. No, don't. You're gonna add him to the allegations. No.
I'm kidding.
His evolution's already. God damn it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. Those are my boys. Those are my boys.
Oh my god! I just remembered.
Yeah. Fucking.
Wow.
Dude, that was such a heartbreaking thing. That like Game Freak has those files and that they want. I hate it.
Alright, should we start?
Absolutely.
Alright. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I hope I do this justice.
You are gonna fly by this. You're gonna do so well. When it comes back to me, I'm gonna stutter.
Imagine I start stuttering. Anyways, I've kind of brought up this story before to you.
Really?
And I told you that I was gonna cover it. I don't remember when, I just remember that I did. And it's in the episode, it's on one of the episodes too, where I had mentioned briefly this story. And it was about a bullying case involving Chinese parachute kids.
Parachute? What the fuck?
Alright, yeah, that's exactly, that's why I want to like, I kind of like have like some notes first before I start off the story.
Okay.
So, the kids involved are called parachute kids. And they're children from Korea, China, and Taiwan. And they go to private high schools in the United States in hopes of getting into a good university and, like, Americanizing, essentially.
Okay.
Because then, you know, after they do that, their parents can come over, they can have an easier life, live the American dream. You with your I Love Wieners hat.
They have another one where it's like, it's not a party until all the wieners come out.
How did parachute kids...
I love the professionalism of just trying to go back to the story.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, so the majority of these, you'd be thinking, oh my gosh, international students, they must be rich and shit like that. The majority of them are actually middle class. And some parents actually give up, like, their whole fucking life savings on this gamble to send their kid overseas to, like, live out the American dream to help, you know, like, prosper. So, because of that, these students from overseas would find comfort in each other, and they would have a small community because it's such a big change. The move can be traumatic for teenagers. Psychotherapist Stephen Wong told People magazine, they are growing up as teenagers and they have to adjust to a new culture and they are forced to make adult decisions. There are a lot of risk factors. They are alienated from their own family, alienated from mainstream culture. They don't speak English as well and they don't fit in.
Okay.
So, just, I wouldn't say keep that in mind because despite that, fuck everything that happened in this case, because, like, oh my god, these people are terrible. Terrible. And they are also dubbed, I've mentioned it to you, the most hated teenagers in China.
I think you have. Okay, alright, it's starting to ring a bell. Okay.
But it's also referred to as the Lord of the Flies case.
Ooh, I'm not gonna like this.
Because like, for the people that don't know about the Lord of the Flies, it's basically a whole bunch of teenage boys that were stranded on an island, and because of that, shit went south because of hierarchy and their own little governments that they did, their cliques and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like, that's essentially, like, what happened here with a whole bunch of, predominantly Chinese students coming to the U.S. because it's like an island. They don't know anybody. They don't know anything. And that's why, like, they have these groups. And it's crazy. So, on March 30th, 2015... Oh, sorry. Before I even go into that, another thing is that the majority of Chinese people that live in the U.S. have an English name. Mm-hmm. Like, they obviously, like, their real names are Chinese. Yeah. But because they have to have, like, a different name. Yeah, they have to have, yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to be using their English names to just be more simple. Because two of them does sound very, like, similar, so you can, like, get confused. So, on March 30th, 2015, Yiran Camellia Liu, age 18, received... Oh my god, I sound like I'm reading Reddit.
Am I the asshole?
She is not the asshole, that's for sure. She received a text from an old friend asking to meet at the Honey Me, an ice cream parlor located in Yes Plaza on Colima and Fullerton Roads. There was some sort of misunderstanding involving her ex-boyfriend and an unpaid restaurant bill, and she wanted to clear things up. When she arrived, she was ambushed by 3 girls who took her keys and phone and made her clean up the ice cream drippings and cigarette butts off the floor. They then proceeded to take her to a park in Rowland Heights, California, located on Bonita Avenue. My bad. Alright. She was then surrounded by 10 mostly high school students, and she was slapped, doused in water, and pulled to the ground by her hair. It is believed that the other students fled back to China because only 3 were caught. And they were Yun Yao Helen, she's 19, Yuhan Coco Yang, she's 18, and Jinlei John Zhang, who is 18. At one point, one of her attackers tried setting her hair on fire, but couldn't because her hair was wet. Another said to slow down the beating so they can do it for a longer stretch of time. And another girl kicked her legs and stomach with her high-heeled shoes.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
She was asked to beg for forgiveness, and 2 hours after her beating, Camellia testified that the 3 girls from the parlor dragged her by the hair to a more secluded area in the park and made her strip naked. They had given her the choice on who would burn her and where. Camellia chose her hip, and she said, quote, "Because if they do it on the other area, first of all, it would be painful. And then the second time, it would be conspicuous. And it leaves a scar. People can see it." So she was purposely choosing places to not be seen.
That's so fucked up.
Her nipples were also burnt with the lit cigarette. And at one point, Helen asked John to go get a pair of scissors. So he leaves and returns with the pair of scissors. And different people took turns cutting her hair. She was ordered to eat her own hair. And some of this abuse was photographed and posted on the internet. This whole ordeal lasted 5 fucking hours, dude.
5 hours?
5 hours at the park.
Oh my god, this poor girl.
John and Helen also participated in the beating and abuse of another 16-year-old international student just 2 days prior.
This is gonna be it's heavy.
And supposedly 3 other perpetrators in the abuse were minors, so none of their information is like leaked anywhere. But like the 3 main ones that the public knows is Helen, John, and Coco. And the other 3 oh wait, no, I already said that, my bad. The adult perpetrators were arrested and held at a $3 million bond. And the father of one of the perpetrators was also arrested for trying to pay off a witness.
Really?
Yes.
That's fucking disgusting. Holy shit.
Yeah. And, what's it called? I didn't look for it anywhere. Like, I couldn't find it online because I honestly got this all by actually reading articles and not, like, listening to, like, a podcast or, like, a YouTube or a documentary. But I was watching a TikTok from Rotten Mango. I always forget her name. She's the one that just went through, like, she's the one that also recently got famous again. Like, it started trending because she was going over Ash Trevino's case, like, and all the BS that she's been doing. So I like her a lot because she really, like, goes deep in everything. And she also found out that, because Camellia, she had her own car, so she can drive and everything, that after she was, like, beat and all this shit, like, they still made her drop them off, like, at home and shit like that. So she still had to drive her abusers, like, back home. But, oh my god. So yeah, they were all initially charged with torture and kidnapping, and if convicted of torture, may have received the death penalty. But California hasn't had a death penalty, like, in so long.
Yep.
So I highly doubt it. The three pleaded not guilty, but eventually agreed to a plea deal. How are you gonna plead not guilty? Oh my god. On Tuesday, January 5th, 2016, Zhang and Jia pleaded no contest to kidnapping and assault. My bad, that's Helen and Coco. By great means of force, likely to produce great bodily injury. Yang pleaded no contest to these charges. For each person, torture and 2 kidnapping counts were dismissed as part of their plea bargain. So Helen ended up receiving a 13-year sentence. Coco received a 10-year sentence, and John received a sentence of just over 6 years. It's because John didn't directly participate in the beating, but he was there, and he's the one that went to go get the scissors.
Yeah.
So, but he ended up receiving a completely different trial than Coco and Helen. And as of today, I know for a fact John is out and living his life.
Fuck that.
Because this shit happened in, 2016? He's out already. Next year, Coco is going to get released. Because next year's, 2016, 10 years.
No, it's just... It's incredible how people can do such heinous acts. I mean, 13 years is 13 and 10 years are a long time, but it's not long enough. It's not enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, because it's fucking traumatic. Dude, there's fucking photos. I didn't save any photos because of just how bad they are. Like, if you want to look them up yourself, I'm not going to be putting that as the cover photo of the thing at all. Like, I'm only going to put a picture of those three people, like, in their fucking prison outfits and shit like that. I'm not posting anything about her. She is a private person. Like, I think there was also, like, a documentary in the works, but she's gonna have somebody speaking for her. She's not gonna be in it because she just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
When I don't blame her. Shit,
Yeah.
That's fucking traumatic. That's terrible. Man, like, and it just shows, like, how fucking, like, and what was the reason? There was no fucking reason.
No.
And supposedly Coco didn't even know who she was. Coco did not know who she was.
So just a random person
Yeah,
that just...
she was just some random bitch that hung around with fucking Helen and John, apparently. And she just participated just because she felt like it. Like, she didn't go to the same school as them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But there was a lot of talk about whether they were just going to get deported back to China, if they were going to serve their sentence and then get deported. And they're serving their sentences, and then after that, they're going to get booted. But a lot of Chinese, like, netizens, that's what they, I don't know how they say it, but they have certain phrases for how they say, like, people that live in China, they fucking hate them. Like, and are beyond livid. Which is crazy because they don't have harsh laws for shit like this. And they were literally, like, all in support. Like, no, give them the max sentencing because they don't have strict laws like that. Because if you just booted them for them to go to jail here, they just get a slap on the wrist. Essentially. So, yeah. It's just, that's crazy. It's really short, and I was just like...
But why was it called the Lord of the Flies case?
Because they didn't know anybody.
Oh.
Because it's like the United States is like an island, you know? And they were just shipped off somewhere completely different. And it's only referenced as the Lord of the Flies case because of the judge. The judge is all like, there's a lot of similarities between this and the Lord of the Flies. So he was the one that made his own comparison. But yeah. And then also, Helen, she got analyzed and everything to see like why the fuck would she do this. Turns out she had a history of it. It didn't go into depth of what she had, but obviously like she had like mental shit going on. So they had shipped her off back to China so that she can get the help that she needed, and I guess her parents thought that she was cool now, so they shipped her back to the US. And I'm just like, oh,
Jesus.
Yeah, like, oh my god. I just don't understand why. I hate them. Everybody hates them. Like, oh my god. And I've seen, like, the photos of, like, her hair and shit like that. Like, it's just, it's terrible. And then, like, one even had the audacity to say, like, when she was, like, because you know how, like, they can speak or whatever when they're, like, in court or whatever. Like, oh, I hope that...
Like, testify.
Yeah, they're like, I hope Camellia doesn't think about this for, like, the rest of her life. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah, what the hell?
What the fuck do you mean? You, like, burnt her with cigarette butts. Like, obviously she's gonna see that shit and she's gonna remember it. She probably can't even look at her hair. She probably couldn't even look at her hair for who knows how long. Probably going to the barbershop may be traumatic as fuck for her now. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, you want to know where they're located at?
Sure.
Chino. They're located in Chino. Yeah.
Huh.
Too close. Too fucking close to my liking. Let's go see Coco when she gets released, bro.
Oh man, I already got a date with...
I just want to have a word with her. Yolanda.
Yeah, I'm already gonna go see Yolanda.
Wait, is she located in Chino too?
No, I don't know where she's located at, but I know... I think it's this year she's eligible for parole.
She's trying.
She's trying really hard because I think people inside are... She's like, oh, I fear for my life. People inside the prison want to kill me. Like, girl, you're no better outside either. Like,
you're safer in prison.
Yeah.
She's safer in prison.
She really is, but... I mean, they can't keep her in there forever. So...
Well, I mean, she killed a person.
No, I mean, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, she only had such a set time, and if she's getting parole, then she's getting parole. Like, if she gets paroled, she just can't stay in the prison. Like, she's got to go somewhere, but everybody...
There's nowhere else to go.
Everybody on this side of the U.S. hates her fucking guts. Everywhere
hates her. Even people in, like, Japan and China and shit like that. Stuff's... Oh my god. Yeah, this thing was such a doozy. Like, it's so short, but it was just, like... so disgusting. I don't know. And then, like, it's just crazy to me, like, how evil people can truly be. Because, I mean, obviously, like, there's murder and shit like that, but, like... this person's, like, alive and you're doing this to a person that's, like... And she wasn't crying, dude. She wasn't crying because she didn't want to seem weak in front of them. So she was going through all this shit. I don't know if, like, a tear or two, like, you know, went down her face. But she was not crying when she was enduring this torture. Because she didn't want to seem weak. And, I don't know, there's just, like, so many similarities. Because, obviously, this shit was done to her unwillingly. But, like, what was it? Like, in the 1980s or in the 1990s, there was this artist, who did, how do I say it? A piece, or, like, a demonstration. And she stood still for, like, hours, dude. And she thought, like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to me. And she would just stand there and not speak and nothing. And at first, people would, like, kiss her cheek, tickle her with the feather. Like, she had, like, a table full of, like, shit of what they can do. Like, there was, like, food or whatever. There was a gun. There was handcuffs and shit like that. So you can do to me whatever you want. She was going to be there for a certain amount of time. it got to the point where, like, everything was nice and dandy. It got to the point where people started, like, assaulting her. She was raped. Like, she was getting sexually assaulted in front of people, and demonstrators had to form a circle around her so that she wouldn't get hurt and everything. Mm-hmm. And she still didn't move because that was part of her performance. And, like, that shit's still traumatic to her. And there was even this guy that just did it as well. He literally stood next to a tree for 23 hours. And, like, I'll send you the video. And he got spray painted on. Yeah, somebody had got a can of spray paint and started tagging on his body with fucking spray paint. And then they got a Sharpie and they drew a mustache on him. This girl put a weenie in his mouth, which I'm trying not to laugh because it's looking a little funny, but it's still, like, it's still fucked up. And, like, another one purposely went to go get some eggs and he started smashing eggs on top of him. They put, like, a Trump hat on him. And people were even calling the police because he was just standing there. Even though he had a sign that it's a social experiment, he's standing there for 23 hours. Mm-hmm. And everything. And, like, the police officer came, took the hat off. A woman had to come and she cleaned off everything. She didn't have to, but she did. Out of the kindness of her heart, she cleaned off everything. And it just really goes to show, like, just how cruel people are because they're just standing there. And, like, he didn't say, oh, you can do anything you want to me willingly. He's like, nope, it's just a social experiment of me standing here for 23 hours. And people are just so vile and disgusting. I'm not saying that he's all like, oh, yeah, I want to get, like, assaulted. You know what I mean? But that's part of the social experiment, and it's just... people suck. People suck. That's all I have to say. I don't know. Your thoughts?
There are two sides to every person, I think, that... Well, like, you've brought up Lord of the Flies already, where the whole point is, without a governing law, like, how do people react? How do they behave? And, yeah, in that story, spoiler alert, by the way, everything just crumbles down. Like, kids are dying left and right in that fucking story. Because...
What's crazy is that I've actually never read it.
Really?
Read it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's something you read in school, right?
Yeah.
I never read it in my school. I've been wanting to. It's on my list to read.
It is a good book. Unfortunately, I was just too young to appreciate it, so.
Let's reread it.
but the whole point is that, like, at the beginning, they do try to have some kind of structure. Like, they try to have a makeshift democracy. But as time goes on the island, and, like you're saying, like, they form, like, little cliques and things just deteriorate really fast.
Oh, wow, just like what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Whoa.
Similarities.
It's like
crazy.
There's these books that tell us about what's going to happen, and, like, things are still happening.
There's no fucking way. No.
Yeah.
No. But, but it's, there's a villain in the story, and then there's the protagonist, obviously, but it's like they try to maintain that good throughout that story. But I guess depending... I'm trying to go for it. Like, in those experiments, like the lady cleaning up the guy. Like, she didn't have to, like you said. But it is out of the goodness in her heart. I think there are people who are just truly good, truly nice. And then, there's dickheads, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Good people are capable of bad things. Bad people are capable of some good. But I guess it's their actions that speak more volume.
Mm-hmm. Man, this thing fucking sucks. I have no words, honestly.
No,
Because, like, I can't even imagine it, It's sad. I cannot imagine, people that, like, yeah, whatever, like, maybe they weren't friends and stuff like that. Well, she said an old friend. But, like, yeah, maybe they weren't friends or whatever, but they were still, like, in a community, you know? Like, I don't know how people can just be like that. Anyways, that's why I said I'm ending myself if there's ever an apocalypse. Because if there's no government and no rules, what do you think they're going to do to women? That's just my thing. I'd rather end it so I don't have to deal with it.
Well, there's always going to be some people trying to form some kind of government, or like at least a little group or posse. Like The Walking Dead.
Because even with the government, women are still being screwed over. Alright. I think it's your turn now to bring it up with all the funny ghost stuff.
Ooh.
There's no funny ghost stuff, is there?
There is nothing funny. As much as it's gonna be a really heavy hitting episode today. Cause
oh my god.
I was gonna start off by saying that it's so sad you have to say the funny stuff, but it's not. You know, we cover these stories, for me at least, out of curiosity and to bring light to certain topics, right?
Yeah.
So like if I'm covering like a killer, I'm not gonna make fun of the victim, but I will make fun of the killer.
Oh yeah,
because
for
you know
sure.
they're pieces of shit. But because you know sometimes we cover, you know, people dying in like paranormal stories, and then you know they probably haunt some sort of fucking house or something. I want to get this straight that because I cover it, I'm not making light of it, but because what I'm about to cover, it is extremely heavy. Mm-hmm. Even though it happened, like well over like 10 years ago.
Oh, that's really recent. Holy crap.
So like it still affects a lot of people to this day. So you know, just because we cover it doesn't mean I'm making light of the situation. But it is still nice to know that it can still be talked about.
Can I say something funny before you start?
Mm.
I feel like we see like a whole bunch of like ghost sightings and stuff like that, and then it's always like a woman in like a white dress or like a soldier like from the Civil War and shit like that,
yeah.
Whatever. But then I'm just like, that's why at first it made me feel like ghosts aren't real. Because, like, how are you not going to tell me that, like, how are you going to tell me that we see ghosts in old Victorian outfits or whatever, but how come there's no ghost wearing MC Hammer pants? You know what I mean? Like,
I Heart Wiener hats.
Like in 15 years, like, are the ghosts going to be, like, flossing? Are they going to be, like, doing dances? Like, what are they going to be wearing? It just makes me curious. Yeah. Because, I don't know.
Do you think there's like a set wardrobe after you die? Like, you're gonna pick like, oh, like, am I going like...
Okay, but like...
trench coat or...
But I mean, like, it's like what they wore. You know what I mean? It's like what they wore, like, of the times. And stuff like that. And we think that, like, oh my gosh, ghosts are like ghosts from like long ago or whatever. But no, people die fucking every day.
Yeah.
People die every day and everything, like... Like, the ghost that I saw at the Queen Mary, like, I didn't get a chance to see, like, what it was wearing and stuff like that. But, like, I mean, you know, like, there's times where, like, it's very prominent, like, what they're wearing. At least from what people say. Because what I believe I saw, I think it was a ghost because there's no other way to explain what I saw. You know? But I haven't seen a ghost since. I haven't had a paranormal experience since, and I wouldn't call it a paranormal experience because I wasn't even afraid when I saw it. Mm-hmm. But like, I just saw it. It just happened. Like, just a gray, shadowy figure flying, like floating, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is lit, you know. So I couldn't tell if it was like a soldier, if it was a sailor, you know, like a crew member. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever, a prisoner. I couldn't tell, you know? I
hate the fact that I work so close to the Queen Mary, that I'm always looking at it and I'm going, I'm never getting that, the money back from that fucking thing. Stop!
Oh my goodness.
Oh, damn, I'm like, that fucking sucks.
Are we gonna go to that one house this year for your birthday?
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we should try to plan it. I'm pretty sure it's on a weekday, but we can try to plan a weekend. Cause I think for now, my schedule should be like weekends off. Mhm. So I'll try to plan accordingly.
Sweet. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say that before we get through all because when you said like that this is a ghost thing from like 10 years ago, like. Yeah. They never describe what they're wearing, and I just want to know, like, what were they wearing? Were they wearing, like, 80s attire, like...
Surprisingly, there is an encounter here that does sort of describe what they are wearing.
Yes!
So, you'll have your...
I don't like fashion, but I like paranormal fashion.
Ghost Gucci?
Yeah. No, somebody did also say, like, if I'm gonna die any day now, like, I'd rather die wearing something cunty. And I'm like, you know what?
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. It's like, that's real. Yeah. Because, like, that may be, like, your ghost form, like, for the rest of your life. Like, who knows? Who knows?
Like, yeah, if I'm going to be dead, I want to be dead fresh. Like, just looking... Oh, that makes no sense, but, like, I want to look good.
Dead fresh.
Dead... Shut up.
That's why I laughed, because you said...
I realize that as I said it, it's redundant. Yeah, that made no sense.
It makes
but
sense.
I guess that's also why when people get buried, like they're always like either in dresses or they're in suits. I guess.
Do you want to die like when you get buried? Like, do you want to wear like a suit?
I'll probably just end up getting cremated. I'll be 100% honest, because
that's true.
Planning a funeral is ridiculous. I think like there's nothing wrong with having a site to go visit somebody, right? Putting flowers on someone's graves and just visiting. There's nothing wrong with that.
But when people get cremated, they have funerals too.
No, I know, and I get that. It can still be done, but I'm talking about the financial side of people dead, like people dying.
It's crazy.
Is stupid. Grieving people being taken advantage of because they want to give their lost ones like a final farewell, and they're paying minimum thousands. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
When I went to the Museum of Death, like you can just see how much inflation rocketed from like funeral homes from like the 50s to like now. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the fuck? Like, even in like the 50s, it was like $1,000 for like everything. For everything, like fucking doves and shit like that.
For now, just a coffin alone would be like minimum $6,000. Yeah. And going maybe $12,000. Yeah. I'm like, that's
ridiculous.
That's unreasonable to be paying such a thing like that. Mm-hmm. I think max is like $3,000 or $5,000 just for cremation.
Mm-hmm. I don't know whether I want to be buried or cremated yet. But I have been like thinking about it, about going to a funeral home and like prepaying for like my own plot of land to get buried in. Mm-hmm. And like it's crazy because people can actually do that, and like they'll have a file saved for you. So like if you were to die, you can do that. Like, well, when you die, but like who knows?
If you do die, you can probably live forever. Like,
who knows? Who knows? We'll have the rapture and we'll just float up to heaven. No, but like, you know what I mean. And before like I left the church and everything, the pastor's wife, she had paid for that and she had talked to us about it, and she had like this special card that she had in her wallet, and essentially it's a card that like she was paying the funeral home, that if she ever were to die overseas, she already paid for that, for basically for them to transport her body back to the U.S. to get buried, to go to like that place. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty cool, but it's like insurance, I guess you can say.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's just weird.
And then I think it's cool too because I feel like you can plan your own funeral. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if these people you can just tell the mortician, like if these people say that I want to be doused in pink and like that, like no, the fuck no.
Can you imagine like going to a funeral home and be like, listen, I want to plan this right in advance for when I die, and I don't want your shitty catering food to feed for my family. I'm gonna get Cane's and a Wingstop to sponsor this bitch, I'm gonna be drenched in Wingstop Ranch.
I feel like that's a conversation you have with your attorney and your mortician.
Can this be done?
I don't think the morticians do that, dude. I think the morticians, they just butter up the body getting it ready.
I'm gonna just ask them, like, I need a ranch fountain where you can just, like...
We really need to go to the Museum of Death.
I need to go get Wingstop.
Dude, me too. Stop, because now I kind of don't want subs now. I kind of want to get wings instead.
Just get, like, the tenders they recently made. Oh, so good.
Dude, every time I get Wingstop, I get that big ass thing of ranch.
You get the big thing of ranch?
I get that big thing of ranch, dude. And then I save it. I save it because, like, I use it and everything, but it's still, like, 2/3 full. And shit like that. I don't finish the whole thing, but it's because I'm stingy. I like their ranch. So, dude, like, I'll use it the next day and, like, I'll make a wrap and, like, I'll just drizzle it on. Or, like, I'm eating fries and, like...
I'm a slut. I'm a whore for that ranch.
Dude, I literally, like, I would say that I'm gonna bathe in it. I was like, I would bathe in that ranch.
One could say you could be buried in it. And now we're back to the funeral topic, right?
Wow, what a good segue. What a nice way of telling me to shut the fuck up. Alright, continue. I'm so sorry.
Wow, there's no easy way to transition from that to this. Okay, so this story deals with the aftermath. Well, the events leading to it of the 2011 tsunami from Fukushima, or the ghosts of Fukushima. Yeah, it's
what the fuck?
It was really crazy because I would have thought basically they got hit with like 3 different things at once, right? Mm-hmm. And then the 4th being basically the hauntings. So like they just had no rest. Like it's just really sad.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the tsunami where the husband is still looking for his wife's body in the ocean after like 20 years? Or is that a different tsunami?
If it's 20 years, that's probably a different tsunami.
Okay.
Because this was in 2011.
Or maybe I'm getting confused.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I haven't. I didn't come across anything like that.
I'll look for it while you're talking about it.
If you find it, let me know.
Yeah.
So on March 11th, 2011, Japan was hit with 4 disasters, one after another. Its first being an earthquake at 2:46 p.m. A record-breaking 9.1 undersea magnitude earthquake occurred in the Pacific Ocean just 45 miles east of Tohoku, Japan. That lasted for 6 minutes. This would be Japan's most powerful earthquake to ever be felt, and the world's 4th strongest earthquake since we started to record earthquakes. The energy the earthquake released that day was as if the world had burned through its entire fossil fuel reserves all at once.
Yeah, it's him.
Is it? Oh, shit.
I'm pretty sure. You said Fukushima, but it's saying a different area.
Well, it's like different regions. Tohoku?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be that one.
Yeah, poor guy. He's still looking for her.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, the story it's not a funny one, but it's a heartfelt one. Like it's not like this powerful earthquake struck Japan hard, and what followed was something no one could possibly prepare for. Although later investigations revealed measures could have been taken to prevent further disasters. That's a whole different thing. Like towards the end of this, I'm gonna get to. I'm gonna have to freeball that because I didn't write that down. Just shortly after the earthquake, Japan was hit with its second disaster, tsunamis, with waves reaching heights of at least 133 feet tall, or 40 meters.
Christ.
The citizens of Sadai only had about an 8 to 10 minute warning of what was about to come. Before the day was even over, 217 square miles of Japan were flooded. Water was 6 miles deep onto the mainland, and reports from 2021 showed that on that day, a total of 19,759 deaths occurred, 6,242 injuries, and as of today, over 2,500 people are still reported missing. The then Prime Minister of Japan, Naoto Kan, said, quote, "In the 65 years after the end of World War II, this is the toughest and the most difficult crisis for Japan," unquote. Yes. As the earthquake and huge waves struck Japan, the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant had its own course of action in case such emergencies happened. However, it was never designed to handle two big events at the same time. Reactors 1, 2, and 3 automatically shut down, and its backup power stored underground kicked in. Unfortunately, a huge wave from the tsunami about 50 feet tall hit and soon flooded the power plant. The water would make its way to the turbines and the diesel power generators, which the generators stopped working immediately. As a result of this, Reactor 1 didn't have the sufficient power to cool down the reactor's coolant, leaving nuclear fuel to be exposed to the air, with temperatures rising as hot as half the surface of the sun.
What the fuck?
In the coming days, reactors 1, 2, and 3 would melt down and explode. Nuclear fuel was exposed and was left to be scattered onto the sea and land. Over 200,000 people had to evacuate and leave their homes. It's worth noting that the Japanese government has deemed it safe to return, but most of the people who evacuated refused to return home. As of now, it's mostly the elderly who look after and clean up after the nuclear meltdown. It's actually interesting that like a lot of the elderly are cleaning up because they don't want to let the newer generations pick up all that like radiation. So they're like, we're already old, we're close to dying, like let us take care of it.
Oh, that's so sad. Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
Now I want to fucking cry. What the fuck?
Dude, and some of them are like we've had this home for like ages, like we don't want to leave it, like if we're gonna die.
It's our job to take care of it.
It's basically what it is. You know, looking after the newer generations and not fucking up. It's really sad. Strangely, after Japan would have its fourth incident, it now has a ghost problem. Over the years, the citizens of Japan have reported many interactions involving ghosts who are just trying to look for their homes. This is probably like a famous one that you've already probably heard, but one account is of a taxi driver stopping to pick up a young woman who was waiting for a cab.
Yeah.
He was driving in a rough spot and had very few customers, so he was glad to have found someone. He stopped, she got in the car, and they drove off. As they started, the cab driver noticed that the girl had a large, heavy winter coat and was completely drenched in water, even though it hadn't rained in a couple days. The young woman asked the driver to drop her off at the Minihama district. The cab driver knew that the area was mostly abandoned and asked her, "That area is almost empty. Are you sure?" After a long, eerie silence, the girl reported with a cold and shivering, "Have I died?" Terrified.
Chills. I'm feeling chills.
Terrified, the cab driver turned around to look at her, but she was gone, leaving a wet spot where she was sitting, just drenched. And the second reporting, after at a refugee community in Onagawa, an old neighbor would appear in the living rooms of the temporary houses and sit down for a cup of tea with the occupants. No one had the heart to tell this ghost that she was dead. When she disappeared, she left behind a wet spot of seawater on the very cushion that she was sitting on. All over the area, many priests and monks were called to help and even bless the areas because of how common it was to see ghosts. The people of Japan had gone through something so traumatic that whether or not you believe in ghosts or the paranormal, the pain caused by the tsunami was very real and still lasts to this day. Quote, "It is not uncommon for fellow survivors to have common reactions, be they sounds, smell, or paranormal sightings. Ghosts are more tolerable than the void created by death." Unquote. Dr. Charles R. Figula? Something like that. And if you are interested in learning more about the tsunamis and the nuclear meltdown of Fukushima, Kyle Hill on YouTube covers the more scientific part of that really great for in-depth science. If you want to know about the cultural impact and more of the ghost sightings, the book Ghosts of the Tsunami by Richard Lloyd Perry goes well into the lives of the people and the aftermath of it. And that's all I got.
That's fucking rough, dude.
So, I talked about measures that could have been prevented.
Yeah.
For all that. Years, even like months leading to that huge earthquake, the Japanese government were basically being warned by scientists like, hey, it's possible that something like this could occur. You know, we could take this action to help in case something like this ever happens. No action was ever taken. Even the people at the nuclear power plant, they were told by their scientists, hey, this could happen one day too. We could take this measure in case, reactor 1 gets overflooded or this reactor gets destroyed, basically. There were so many warning signs and so many procedures that could have been taken place by both the Japanese government and the people who owned the nuclear power plant, but nothing was ever taken. And of course later, like, all that information was released. Like, how much prevention could have been done if they just heeded so many warnings.
Mm-hmm.
And so, basically after that, people had a huge distrust of the Japanese government.
I wouldn't blame them.
And how they failed to run things.
Yeah.
So if I can just lead this off with something light, maybe even like a little fun fact. Because of that, when Toho Animation was making a new Godzilla movie, Shin Godzilla, because at this time, I think we had the first Godzilla movie that the Legend Studio made over here in the West, or over here in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw the popularity in that, and they're like, hey, let's bring it back. Let's bring back Godzilla over there for Japan. So they hired the guy who made the Evangelion series.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
so
yeah.
He had a big helping hand when it came to the direction of how the movie went and how Shin Godzilla was designed. And a large part of the movie is how slow and underperforming the government is, and how it took the power of the people to do something with Godzilla. So basically, he used that whole incident to basically put into his words that the government was a joke. Like, it's the people that had a better understanding and a helping hand of bringing back Japan, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I believe some of them are trying to do their best. It's obvious that the majority of them have their own interests in mind. That's why a lot of people are advocating for government officials to not get paid, like, a lot, and to get paid as the same amount as their constituents.
Yeah.
Which I agree wholeheartedly, because then you understand, like, the working class, Yeah. That's why I feel like, especially if they've been in power or they've been in office for, like, decades, like people in the Senate, you know what I mean? I feel like they're so out of touch with reality,
Yeah, that's my story, at least.
Yeah.
How...
That was really good. That was... Holy shit.
I mean, it was hard to find... I didn't want to make it a spectacle of, like, oh, there are ghosts here,
Yeah.
It is... I'm not going to say it's, like, a problem, but it's the way that they've chosen to deal, or how to cope with that traumatic experience. There's... I didn't write it down, but there's a guy who... He hates when it rains, because when it does, he gets to see the people he's lost in the reflection of the water. So it's tough. Like, I'm not trying to make light of it. You know, it is a heavy hitting thing, but it's interesting to see that even in like that kind of times, people just they do what they can to get by, even if it's creating or even seeing something, or even making fucking Shin Godzilla.
Well, Godzilla was created as a metaphor
Yeah,
for the bombings.
Exactly.
That's why I feel like that's just their way to cope.
I'll have to send you that video I saw for Shin Godzilla. Like, it was a really good one. Because, like, I don't know if you ever... I'm a huge fucking Godzilla fan.
I've been getting... Like, I think Godzilla's lit. Like, I was so down, you know, like, I've seen, like, a movie or two. But I've been wanting to get more into, like, the lore.
So, for Shin... I haven't even, like, seen, like, Shin Godzilla fully. It was on Crunchyroll, and I didn't get to see it. I should have
It's
watched
not there anymore?
No, it's not. I was going to download it and watch it on the plane on my way back here. Because I can't fall asleep on the plane for certain reasons. But the creator, because of, you know, Evangelion, how it is, there's like a lot of symbolism too when it comes to Godzilla in this film.
Yeah.
And like he's evolving like crazy.
Dude, because you haven't seen Evangelion, but it's... Ask me what it's about, I can't tell you. But it's just a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece because of how, like, a reflection it is when it comes to, like, the Bible, too. But at the same time, it's like, no, it's not. You know, like...
But there is strong symbolism in there.
I know, but, like, there's times where, like, it can be, like, really overlooked. There's, like, just, like, I don't know. It's, like, I really want to rewatch it, and I want to finish watching all the movies, because I never finished watching all the movies. It's just annoying because I think a movie or two is literally just a recap of, like, the fucking seasons, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Yeah.
But supposedly, like, in the movie, there's, like, extras that they didn't show in the seasons, if I'm correct. But I low-key want to rewatch it because, first of all, intro's a banger. Intro is a banger. Even the outro's really good, too. But, like, shit just gets fucking crazy. I don't know, like, it's good, because obviously, like, as soon as you told me the director of Evangelion, I was like, I already know it's good.
Yeah.
I already know it's good. That's all you have to tell me.
Because...
it is good.
Like, I'm telling you, when they saw, you know, Godzilla performing over here, they were like, you know, let's bring it back. But it's also because Godzilla over in Japan was sort of having a decline. Like, nothing that they were making about it was, like, really noteworthy or, like, really good. But until he came onto the project, like, I think it was... He was either the director or producer, but one of them was like, we can't do it without him.
Yeah. Like,
he needs to be a part of the project. Like, his vision is incredible.
Yep.
And
some people are just so talented, dude.
Yeah. Dude, and it's crazy because I really wanted to see what he was going to make of this, like, Godzilla. Because... at like the last couple shots, you get to see what it was becoming, and it's, what's the word to describe it? Not just like horrifying, but there's like a step above it, where it's like the imagination could only take us so far to what it could have been. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I gotta see it.
Also, they finally released a documentary of that Ruby Frankie, that YouTuber lady mom or whatever that would, like, starve her kids. Yeah. I fucking hate her. There's a documentary now, and there's, like, unreleased, like, footage that she never posted, like, in her drafts that they put in the documentary.
Dude, I can't stand family
Vloggers.
channels. Well, vloggers or channels. Especially right now, because I think California's implementing, like, a law where, like, if you're gonna have your kids on film, they need to automatically have an account where they get a share of that money. And you just see so many families going like, guess what, guys, we're moving. We're going to, like, Tennessee or we're going to Texas. Like, all right, guys.
Oh my god, especially when they all fucking, like, live in a fucking trailer, and then, like, the kids have, like, 3 bunk beds that they have to pull out. Oh my god. And then the parents have a full fucking... I feel like we should watch the 22 Days Later And then the 22 months later, 2 days, whatever those.
28 days later, 28 weeks later.
Yeah, that one.
Dude, I want to see 28 years later so.
Let's go watch it, dude. Let's go watch it.
It comes out later this year, right?
It comes out in June, I think.
Oh my god.
I think it comes out in June.
Fuck yeah.
That's why I've never seen the first two, but I've seen clips of it and I was like, I want to see it so bad, dude.
The second one we could definitely find. The first one's gonna be a problem.
No, a lot of people have been saying that they've been posting it now because of how much attention it's getting. Mm-hmm. It's popping up again. If not, I know for a fact that the guy I'm talking to has that movie.
That might have to be our ticket. It's because...
That might be our ticket.
It's because...
I'm pretty sure
you can actually stream the first movie and all of its physical media, it's already sold out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I know for sure you can stream the second movie, but...
Dude, you can literally watch it on Prime for $3.99.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I guess they did change it then, because when I had checked...
Yep. Yeah, that's what... When I first saw the trailer and I was looking for it, I couldn't find it anywhere.
Have you even seen Godzilla -1?
I'm being honest, dude. I've only seen one Godzilla movie for my birthday, but that was like when I was like 14. Or 15, like in theaters.
Oh my God.
I've never seen any of the other ones, or I don't remember any of the other ones.
Oh my God.
I want to get into them.
Okay, so the perfect, even though I'm encouraging hella hard on Shin Godzilla, because it's going to be really hard to find right now, Godzilla -1, perfect. It is a phenomenal Godzilla movie because even without him in it, the character side, like the actual human side, incredible. Mm. Phenomenal story, which is saying something crazy because usually when it comes to Godzilla movies, the human aspect of it is always horrendous. Mm-hmm. So like it's really good. Like you're just rooting so hard for the humans. I mean, you should. But...
Yeah. Nah, you know what? Take us all out, dude. Global warming. We don't deserve to be here.
Let me play Kingdom Hearts 4 first, and then you can take me out. Not one word of that thing. What are you gonna think? All right, let's wrap this up, huh?
We should.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Thanks everybody and anybody who's coming in after this long ass hiatus. Hopefully we'll be back in motion soon. Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like it just makes me really happy, even if nobody listens to us. Like, I don't know, just us like talking about like our interests and everything, because like you said earlier, we're both just very curious people. Mm-hmm. And everything. Like, we love having in-depth like conversations about these things. We love cracking jokes to help cope with these, freaking things. Mm-hmm. It's just fun. I like this,
What was it? I think when I was over there training for this job, you talked about like opening like a panel at a conversation at a convention. Mm-hmm. Dude, that got me so hyped to want to do that.
Yes.
And I'm like, even if one person shows up, I'm like, that'd be just
that'd be
amazing.
Swell, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be swell. If now we get a whole room to ourselves to just geek out.
It's just us in an empty room.
No, well, what's it called? One of the listeners and everything, she still listens to it and everything. Like, when I went to go see the ghost, she's like, I hope you put it in your new episode. Like, she's an avid, like, listener, dude. Like, she's like, I'm down to do the freaking panel, dude. I'm so down to do the panel.
Oh my God, that'd be pretty fun.
And she's really cool. She's really creative. She's very smart and everything. She's the one that works at DreamWorks.
Didn't we see her?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
She's a sweetie pie.
Yeah.
She's very nice. But, like, yeah, dude. Because, like, okay, whatever. Call me a nerd. I don't care. But, like, anime and, like, mangas is just, like, something I'm really into.
Yeah, and now that, Don's here, just squish them all together. And...
Dude, oh my God. We're literally them. Platonically, we're literally them.
Dude, I was so addicted to that show. I still am, but it's just...
Yeah. Oh my God, the only problem I have...
I think I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
Not us talking about freaking anime again on this thing. Oh my God. Okay, so look it. I understand. I don't shun sex workers.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Sex workers, you know, like, kudos to you and everything. Like, one of my friends, she's an OnlyFans model. She got one of her guys to get me 2 skins off of Fortnite.
Hey.
You know, like...
Kudos to her for doing what she does. You know, if she loves doing what she loves to do, good for her.
And if you're gonna involve sex work in anime to like... I understand because who wouldn't want to see Yor right there oiled up? Who wouldn't want to see Chun-Li right there, you know? Like, I am not a saint. I will wholeheartedly, like... I've actually subscribed to Patreon and everything because of an NSFW artist, because I liked her work and everything. And like, if you're gonna involve sex work and anime together, don't make sex work dress as minors. It's fucking weird. Like, even a mutual of mine, like, I gave her the side eye because she told me that her and her boyfriend wanted to do a photo shoot, like, of the rescue scene where she's like, and I'm like, you really don't have to do that. Like, there's no need. Like, if you really want to do the rescue scene, you can do the rescue scene with her being strapped up on the chair, but she doesn't have to be naked.
Yeah.
Or her with the zip ties behind her back, like, when the Pink Bitch and the Silky, you know, like, whatever. Like, you can do that. But you want to be naked. Like, that's just what you want. Yeah. And, like, I was side-eyeing her and everything, and I was like, that's still weird. I was like, that is still weird. Like, and she was trying to, like, she's a dirty old woman. And she was trying to justify it. And I'm like, that's still weird.
I remember, like, as the show was coming out, like, my Instagram feed was just, like, of cosplayers, like, dressing as Momo. But it was just, like, her in, like, the pink sweater and, like, the skirt. I'm like, this is actually kind of fun to see because they just look comfy.
Yeah.
It's not very often where you get to see, like, cosplayers cosplaying something. Because it's usually, like, a lot of pieces that they have to put on or, like a fucking intricate cosplay. But for them, you know, they're just slapping on a comfy sweater, a little bit of earrings, and, like, a wig on, like, a... Cool.
I feel like doing Okarun is more work than doing Momo.
Yeah. But I was like, dude, they look comfy. It looks like a fun cosplay. And then I think that's, like, the show ended, and, like, I started seeing, like, a lot of those. I'm like, yeah, that was quick.
No, like, there was this really cool cosplayer that I followed. I'm not gonna lie, she was, like, one of those thirst trap cosplayers that I really liked. Like, I loved watching her cosplay. She was sexy, she's hot and everything, like... And then I saw her, and she, like... Okay, there's a miner in One Piece, and she is wearing shorts, and she's wearing a crop top. And thanks to Oda, he likes big boobs, so she had big boobs and everything. But her outfit wasn't overtly sexual. Because it's just shorts and a crop top. Every kid wears that in the summer. I get it. You know, whatever. She has a superpower where she can age herself into an old woman. She could turn herself into a little kid. And everything. That's fine. Whatever. That's her superpower. She has that for a reason, to save her life. Anyways. She was thirst trapping dressed up as that character. Showing ass. And I'm like, no. Like, if it's a regular cosplay, like, if I see a cosplayer dressed up as her in the shorts and the crop top and the hat and the lipstick or whatever, I'm not going to be like, oh, you're just doing that for attention. Like, no, because that's just what she's wearing. Sadly, that's just what she's wearing. And everything. But, like, no, you trying to make sexy photos and videos of you, like, in that outfit, I'm just like, no.
There's one thing that...
Absolutely not. I literally commented, I was like, really? I was like, not you too. And then I put a sad face, and then I unfollowed her, and, like, still to this day, I get likes on that comment. And other people, like, reply back to my comment, like, yeah, I'm unfollowing her, too, after I saw this.
There's one, like, even though I do like seeing, like, cosplayers fucking either be guys or girls, like, whatever, the one thing I can't really stand is, like, how do I put this? So... Sometimes, like, I'll see a character, right? And I go, alright, they got a cool fit on. And then there's a part of me in the back of my mind that goes, I wonder how long it's going to take for a cosplayer to just make that in a sexual direction fast. Because it happens so fucking quickly.
And you can't even appreciate the costume.
Yeah. So it's like...
I'm not going to deny it. It works. Sex sells, dude.
Yeah.
Sex sells, like...
Absolutely.
I follow a lot of cosplayers because they're sexy. I'm not going to deny it.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I think there's also, like, a fact that there comes a time where it's not even just cosplay. You're just wearing something small, and then maybe having like the matching accessories to go with it, and then you're barely able to pass it along as the cosplay. It's like, I don't know. It's to me, it's like, maybe actually cosplay it first. I want to see it. Like, it'd be pretty cool to see it instead of just immediately making it straight up just sexual like that fast. It's a me thing, I guess. Like, it's interesting because like with Marvel Rivals, like that shit just came out, right?
Yeah.
There's characters that are designed cool, Yeah, there's
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah. They're like, people have been cosplaying that, like, cool. Like, there's a lot of cool cosplays. But then, like, I was like, in my mind, I'm like, how fast is that going to be, like, quickly sexualized? And that shit was fast. Those people work fast.
Dude, people sexualize everything.
Yeah. Dude, we gotta go get food.
We do. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten this today. But yeah, oh my god, that was our little anime cosplay rant. Damn.
But of course, at the end of the day, people can do whatever they want, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not illegal, but like, oh my god, like Belle Delphine, like when they purposely do sex work trying to look like children, they're catering to pedophiles. That's all I'm saying. There's people that do that on purpose to cater to pedophiles, and that's gross. Oh my god, especially, don't even get me started on that cosplayer that sexually assaulted somebody, and she's cosplaying a character that was sexually assaulted and like making it sexual.
I'll say her name. Momo, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's.
I unfollowed her. Like, Umbra Wigs is like a wonderful wig maker and everything, but they live together and they're friends, and I'm like, I guess I can't support or commission this wig creator like ever because of that.
It's really weird to see that she can basically get away with it. It's.
And then there's some other tea like that I kind of want to tell you, but like off of this.
Right, because at this point Nicole's probably like, hurry up, wrap it up. Like, I gotta go to work.
Right?
Don't tell her that we. Did you already tell her that we started already, or like?
Yeah, I told the group chat. I was like, Nicole, it's like, we're recording today.
Oh, fuck. I hadn't seen the group chat yet. I was gonna say keep it like hush hush and just.
Oh no, I told her like I've told her a few days ago too. I was like, guess what? Like, we're recording. I just got too excited. I had to tell her.
No, I get it. Nothing wrong with it. But I just wanted to. I just wanted her to be like, she sees that notification and she'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, just drop it on her.
Yeah.
Boom. Nicole, we love you.
We love you. We love everybody.
Yeah.
Who's, as Nicole would say, platonically, obviously.
Platonically. She always has to emphasize platonically. Like, girl, I know. Like, I never.
We're aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
Next time, and hopefully, eventually, we'll get an intro and outro.
Get caffeinated.
Oh, yeah.
Stay creepy.
I forgot.
That's why I got the Dr. Pepper, because it's caffeine.
Yeah, I got milk.
He got strawberry milk.
It's delicious.
Like a wee little boy.
Yeah. Man. But that's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.